I get to talk about war paint.
And I can think of no one better qualified to do so.
War paint is the story of the two prima diva beauticians in America during the 20s and 30s, when there were only two real companies. These were for rich people, and they made, and it's Helena Rubinstein, played by Patti Lupone, and it's Elizabeth Arden, played by Christine Ebersole. And I just wanted to say that we're looking at this. I brought this from Bloomingdale's. There are 4,000 different kinds of cosmetics today. It's like 90 pages of nothing but cosmetic. Hard to believe that once upon a time there were only two, and nothing to choose from, and poor people couldn't afford them. And they were both fakes, and they never met. And the truth is they never met. And there's a book that this is based on called War Paint, and they exchanged husbands at one time. Or they exchanged, not husbands.
Well,
Elizabeth Arden's husband went to work for Rubinstein, and Rubinstein's gay chief of staff went to work for Elizabeth Arden, and they stole secrets from each other.
Right.
And they both went to court because they were found out to be frauds. And I mean, the things are so amazing. And the costumes, and it goes from the 30s, then it goes through the war, then it brings it up to the 50s, and then it goes into the 60s, and they became passé.
Well, they basically did not keep up with the times. This often happens.
Well, and the times were...
And competitors, they show Charles Revson, who founded Revlon.
Man, Revlon killed them both.
But you see them, they're both offered. William Paley, who, another pioneer,
Right.
he becomes, would you like to sponsor a TV show? No. Would you like? And then you see Revson doing it,
right.
mass media, bringing it to the masses, and they don't want to cheapen their products.
The beautiful model actress Dorian Lee is his creation, and she's seen there. Susie Parker was her sister.
And that, to me, was the more interesting. That was the second act, where you also see them helping during the war, the war effort.
Well, helping by giving cosmetics to the people on the front. I mean, very interesting. The mindset was a little bit bizarre.
And basically, both of these women were, I guess you could say, frauds in many ways. They were humble beginnings.
Yes.
And they both elevated themselves. You see a very cute scene where Rubinstein cannot get an apartment in an upscale building.
And we wonder why.
And because she's Jewish.
It's a restricted building.
And so she ends up buying the building. And gets her apartment.
And it's not a joke. That used to be a joke, and that's not a joke. That's a real thing.
So Christina Ebersole is more the white royalty, but her beginnings were
She's from Canada. She's Canadian,
she was from Canada.
And she was
they were both
a farm
poor,
girl.
They were both poor immigrants who elevated
Absolutely.
themselves. And the first act basically has them going against each other.
Starting their companies were already started and going, and
John Dosset and Douglas Sills plays. Nice to have Douglas Sills back, by the way. Play the men in their lives who are literally exchanged. It starts when Rubinstein decides to buy her company back. She had sold it. She's back in the business. But I found the second act, where with World War II, where outside forces, where the competition, much more interesting.
I gotta say I disagree, and here's the reason.
Okay.
The first act was of a piece. It was the one-time period. So the costumes were, and they're gorgeous. I mean, evocative, and the things that Helena Rubinstein wore. My God, but that was of a piece. Then suddenly we go 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s.
Right.
It's a little too fast, a little too much.
Maybe.
They did it well. The costumes are right.
Yep,
it's just
the costumes are right. The women are right. But here's the thing. You have two powerhouses, two of the Broadway's greatest, Patti Lupone and Christine Ebersole. Both give
Tony winners.
good performances. Both major Broadway veterans, but like
Christine
you said last week about
Gardens.
Emile, I should have been blown over, and I was not.
I was blown over. It's difficult because it's always split screen. It's always two sides
It seems
of the
that
stage.
Lupone, and certainly in the first act, her accent seemed to get in the way of her singing.
Oh, you thought so?
I thought so.
No. No,
That was
mean,
my impression.
Okay, I understand. I understand you're saying that. I felt that this was a part she could really sink her teeth into it since Sweeney Todd.
It
I don't
should
think
have
she's had a
been.
role like where she could do that much.
Right. It should have been.
I thought she did. I thought she did.
And
a brilliant
again,
job.
two good performances, but I wanted the sky to light up.
Vocally, Christine Ebersole has a voice that runs the gamut from from an alto right into a soprano.
Yes.
Lupone is more vocally limited, but she's so great in the role, and she's always been limited by that. I mean, it's always been a good, solid belting voice.
Yeah. Okay, got her through Evita and Anything
please,
Goes.
I'm not.
A whole bunch of other
I'm
things.
so envious. I'm not. None of this is like
Right.
to say anything about it. But no, I really when you put it all together, I thought about it so much afterwards. I went with a friend. We're of an age. We both talk cosmetics all the time. So as you said, so we really loved it. And the more I thought about it, the more I loved it. And I thought it's one of the only two shows for me. And they're both based. They're both adapted from, but they are the best things that I've seen. And I'm not including Hello Dolly, even though that's a revival. But the two shows that are new. And
what was the other one?
Anastasia, which you haven't seen yet. So when you see it, But Anastasia and Warpaint are my two favorites of the season.
I was not overly enamored with Warpaint. Maybe if I were more into cosmetics.
Well, yeah, there may not be a show for guys. It may be that simple.
Maybe it could be.
It's like, all right, when are they going to stop talking about lipstick, right? I mean, I can see you're saying that.
Well,
so what would you give it?
I would give it 3.5, maybe.
No, 4.5.
Really?
4.5. I would give it 5, but I have one or two issues.
Can't come anywhere near that.
Okay.